Hello, my name is Chengcheng. This is the summer one, based on class participation, discuss and compare two theories or models of creativity and critical thinking. Contemporarily, with the fast pace of growth in our global society, change to more efficient, better user-friendly, convenient, and safe are warranted, and they signify the needs for creativity. In the 21st century, problem solving is not limited to the use of conservative and systematic ways, but rather through a more creative yet critical approach, which has emerged to be invaluable soft skills in human resource. More importantly, despite contradictions in nature, creativity and critical were proved inseparable, owing to their mutual compensating nature in effective problem solving. In discussion of critical and creative thinking, process of either similar or polarized argument about how creativity is disconstructed or manifested will emerge from different theories throughout decades. In this video, I will focus on the model illustration creative thinking process, Herman's Holbrand model, and Wallace models of creative process, as well as the theory regarding creativity arising from association and cognitive thinking. So my presentation will sequence as follows. First, I will distinguish between Herman's Holbrand models and the Wallace models of creative process, and second, I will compare the two models in illustrations of their similarities and contrasts. Lastly, I will present the theories of creativity, describe briefly about each theory and compare them. So now let's start with Herman's Holbrand model. Hermans argued that thinking process is dominantly coordinated through a whole-brain approach, indicating creative process involves various cortex stimulated concurrently yet in various extent for integration of new ideas. The model also explained that thinking pattern can be predicted from domains of various cortex, with different performance characteristics. For example, those who left brains will stimulate more readily compared to the right signify a more cognitive and systematic thinking process. Whereas those who stimulate the right brain more will show more signs of intuitive and creative thinking. While the use of left and right brain was usually the topic inquiry when discussing creativity, the model divided the whole brain into four quadrants: upper left, right, lower left, and right, with each representing different functions. And for the Wallace models of creative process, building on the whole brain model, Wallace dissected creative thinking process into four stages, aligned with various thinking modes describing whole brain model. The stage consists of preparation, incubation, illumination, verification, involving domains of left and right brain in each of them. First, the preparation stage is a problem-defining stage, where the major issue was discovered from information gathering, observations, and analyze. Second, incubation stage requires thinkers to distance themselves for the problem defined and lead the mind to the contemplation. Third, illumination is the stage where the idea is produced through divergent thinking, forming a bigger picture of knowledge about possible solutions. Idea will evaluate and narrow down to the most acceptable one through the last stage, verification. So now let's make a comparison of two old models, with a common ground of perception that domainless patterns of whole brain are the predictor of thinking process and influence various quadrants on creative thinking. We can observe that there is similarity in the manifestation of the model and the underpinning of the model. Wallace regards the left model thinking as the core of preparation and verification stages, as is entire the critical thinking regarding concern and background, as well as the analysis of idea in order to translate to useful solution, to conflict with notion that left brain dominantly symbolize logical and detailed thinking. On the contrary, incubation and innovation require thinkers to think out of the boundaries, which identify the right mode of thinking, where intuitive, emotional, sensation-related thinking come in control. In spite of those similarities, the two models have also shown some small difference from each other. For example, the division of four stages under the form of our whole brain model do not detail the domains of specific quantity for particular stages. Moreover, Hermer's model is more biologically based, but Wallace emphasized more on the practice of thinking process based on different techniques such as divergent thinking. So now let's talk about creativity from association or cognitive process. Creativity is the synthesis of innovation emerging from unexplored ideas. Association existing ideas is often argued to be driven by cognitive process. Kostler theorized creativity as product of association, where items or ideas into two different disciplines that were originally unrelated could be merged to form a new creation. Through the study findings were derived from analysis of humor, science, and arts. They are an important indicator of significance of openness to different collaboration and combination of ideas for critical and creative process, for critical and creative thinkers, encouraging the deployment of divergent thinking. Creativity is also considered to be a cognitive thinking process which occurs similar to daily life activities. The use of exclusive functioning imagination help the thinker in creative and critical thinker in order to problem solve concepts effectively. Creativity is a mutual factual concept as it is influenced by countless factors. The two theorists agreed to a conceptualization that creative person is imperial in critical and creative thinking process. So, as conclusion, my presentation has provided a snapshot about Herman's whole brain model, various models of creative process, as well as theories of creativity. Creative and critical thinking problem solving do not only entail the mental and cognitive attributes of thinkers. In practical sense, we should not overlook the importance of different thinking techniques and the sequence in productions of optimal innovation ideas. So this is the end of my video. Thank you.